Hi there, welcome to today's video. I am setting up my bullet journal for the month of June. This was a little bit of a bittersweet setup for me. This will be my last monthly setup in this bullet journal. This bullet journal is from the Archer and Olive Nostalgia collection, and it's the one that has the checkered pattern with the alien sticker, and it's very nostalgic, retro 90s vibe. And since this is going to be my last setup in this bullet journal, I decided to pick a 90s retro vibe, and I went with roller skates. For this month, I did my dashboard or my cover page. It's not hand-lettered. I just did it in Illustrator. I was a bit more rushed, and I wasn't quite sure what quote I wanted to do. So I just defaulted to celebrate every win. The full quote is celebrate every win, no matter how small. I have been hard on myself the last month or so for not being where I want to be. But part of why I'm not where I want to be is because I am somewhere else where I'm super happy. So again, it's a bit of bittersweet, but just, to put things into perspective. So as always, I am using my Tombow to line the edges of my page. Because I was running so late for this setup, and I know this has been a theme for, I'm pretty sure, the whole of 2023, so I guess 2024 so far, I did just pull out these stickers. Now, the positive side is that I have this available for a free download. So if you are running late and would like a roller skate dashboard or cover page for your setup, you can head on over to my website. I've linked it down below. And it is free for email subscribers, so you can just sign up for email and you will get access to all of the freebies I have. And it is for a limited time, so make sure to pop over there so that you don't lose out on this freebie. For my hand lettering for June, I chose to do bubble lettering, and I am coloring them in with my Archer and Olive acrylographs. I matched the colors to the retro pastel-y colors I chose for the skates. I believe you can see my full color palette on this one page. So I had a lot of fun working with these colors, especially with the daisies and the rainbows. And I just thought it was really fun. And just realized now, looking at it, it kind of ties into Pride Month too. So it's like a mini Pride Month celebration as well, which again wasn't my intention. But it's kind of fun that it worked out this way. I am keeping my layouts the same as they've been for the last few months, with a calendar page, a monthly overview page, the weeklies, and then a review page at the end. I've really enjoyed using these layouts, and I'm probably not going to change anything for the rest of the year, or at least not drastically. I have so many balls in the air that I'm juggling and trying to keep track of and figuring out the best way to keep track of it. I think we're all familiar with that mid-year planner. I don't want to say breakdown, but the questioning, is this right for me? I'm still super happy in my bullet journal, but just wondering if there's a better way to kind of keep track of everything. So we'll see. As I'm getting into the mentality of setting up a new journal, those are definitely things I'm thinking about, as well as what layouts I want to put at the beginning of my journal. So as I said, I'm using my acrylographs and cutting in my tabs. I like to color the tabs in with the acrylographs because I feel like it reinforces the tab a little bit more. And it does take a little while. I have left the full coloring for the first couple tabs just so you get an idea for it. So even though it does take a little while, it's definitely something I'm going to carry on doing for the rest of the year. As I mentioned, this is my last setup in this bullet journal. It's a little bittersweet. I think this is my second most favorite bullet journal, my favorite being my first one ever. But yeah, this is my second most favorite. I took it to go wild with me, so I have a bunch of signatures in my notebook, and I got the designer of the notebook, who's my boss, to sign the notebook, and so it's just really special to me, and I had a lot of fun in this notebook. I'm busy deciding between 3 designs for my next one. I have the denim and daisies, I have the bee notebook, and then I have Wonderstruck. to decide which one I'm going to use. Right now, I'm leaning to Wonderstruck. I can't tell you why just yet, but Wonderstruck has a warm place in my heart now, and I'm contemplating using Wonderstruck. So there are some Wonderstruck notebooks up online right now. We did a restock. Archie did a restock, so you can go check that out. I have my affiliate link down below and on my website, so you can go see what that Wonderstruck notebook looks like. So yes, I'm having a really hard time trying to decide which notebook I want to use next. First world problems, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I don't know. This first half of 2024 has been such an absolute blast that I don't know. I don't know what journal or notebook I want to continue on with into the rest of 2024. Getting into my calendar page setup, I wish I was joking, but my June has already been filled, which is bizarre to me because in theory, it should be quieter. I don't know. I don't know why I thought June would be quieter, but it's not. And while I was setting this up, I was having a bit of anxiety about finishing it so that I could write everything down. My youngest, for example, has already been invited to 3 birthday parties. My in-laws are coming to visit. My husband is a conference. It's the end of school. My oldest swimming club is coming to an end and I need to register him in summer camps. Like, it's just, yeah, it's a little bit much. I'm trying to keep track of all the moving pieces. And so I'm already filling up this page because I just need somewhere to dump all of it. Right now, it's on pieces of paper. It's in my calendar. It's on one of my tablets. I just need to put it all down in one place so that I can see everything as a whole. So this layout has become absolutely critical to me, which if you watch some of my previous videos, I've mentioned before, or at least probably almost a year ago, I asked for advice on how to use this page because it's underutilized and now I can't live without it. So yeah, no, we'll see how it goes. But I do, a part of my calendar, I've done it for the last 3 or 4 months now, I believe, is on the right-hand side, you see the bigger boxes, and that's where I put my notes. That is from Jess, from Jessie Corin. That was her, I got that idea from one of her videos, and so I've been incorporating that ever since, and that's just kind of to capture notes or to-dos for the month or for that week of the month. And so, for example, the week that my in-laws are coming, I need to clean my fridge. And I think my husband's working late those days. So, pseudo single parenting and cleaning up, getting the house ready. But that's okay. It'll get done. It is what it is. So I'm using one of my stamp sets from Archie. It's a little alphabet wooden block stamp set. I always play a game to see if I can only touch each letter once. And other than the notes section, I think I have it down to an art now. So it's just really fun. It's very meditative to me. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea and stamping can get really messy, but you'll see in my weekly setup, I ended up messing up with the Tombow anyways. So I think, I'm just a smudger at heart. I hate smudging, I hate bleeding, and I hate ghosting, but for whatever reason, I can't help myself but to smudge everything all the time. Going into the second half of the year, it's also a time that I take to reflect on my goals and where I want to be. And I haven't been very good at staying on top of my goals, and I always make excuses, which is fine, life happens. But I need to find a way to obviously work my goals and my tasks into my everyday life, which granted is semi-unpredictable sometimes. And so I've actually signed up. I am taking Your Path Forward by Heart Breathings called Level Up with the Power of Game Board Strategy. I'm about halfway through the course now. I've been about halfway through the course now for 3 weeks. Reason being, I'm trying to do it properly. So Sarah says to do each section and actually do each section. And so instead of just watching all the videos ahead, I'm trying to do the course the way it's supposed to be, hoping to get more out of it. Like I said, I'm running into issues with time, and then I don't want to get into my goal setting too much or my goal refresh too much because I want to finish this course. And like I said, I don't know. I need to prioritize better for sure. And I think part of that prioritizing is going to be just to finish the course and go from there, because I want to get going on my goal setting. And especially because the way surface level, there's things I want to incorporate into my new bullet journal setup that will have to have better defined goals. So yeah, anyways, that was a very long ramble on a video that is for another day. This is my monthly setup. I do think I have found planner piece in my bullet journal again, and with this layout especially, or the layouts that I do use. I don't use my monthly review as much as I'd like. I also don't use the overview or the review as much as I'd like. So that's definitely going to be a bigger focus for me in the next 6 months, is to actually use the layouts that I am setting up. And I've been doing weekly habit trackers for my weekly setups. And I kid you not, I have actually been filling them out. So I feel like I need props because I've actually been using my habit trackers, which I feel is a little bit shocking, to be honest, but it's true. And when I do my flip through at the end of the year, or I normally don't do flip throughs, but I'm thinking about doing a flip through for the end of the year, I will share that with you, and you will see that I have filled out some of my trackers. I've been trying to stick to a keto eating plan, which it's not been going well. So I haven't been filling that out, and I'm not hitting my exercise goal for the day. So that's not filled out, but I am using it to track my migraines. And then I've started a new medication. So I've been using it to track the dosage, just because the dosage is changing and I'm still trying to find the dose for me. So I've been using it to track that, and that's been super helpful. So yeah, I am getting more comfortable with my layouts. Like I said in a previous video, I like to give a new layout about 3 months before I decide to turf it or not. And yeah, it's been 5 months now. And I've definitely only now started getting into the groove of using those layouts. So that's also something I'll take into consideration. I mean, some layouts, you know that you're not going to use it, or you don't enjoy using it off the bat. And again, that's what I love about using a bullet journal and bullet journaling, because it's all about what you need in the moment and at the time, and you have that flexibility to change it up. Yes, when you're doing monthly setups and you're doing it ahead of time, you might not have that flexibility in the moment, but you can always turn a page and use it how you need. I used to incorporate a lot of notes pages in my bullet journal, and I haven't done that this year, and there's a reason for it, and it's actually a product review that I want to do, so that I like to call it my dirty little secret, which I've had now for 6 months, and I've gotten fairly comfortable using it. It is the Remarkable tablet, which is like a digital notebook. So if you want to see a review about that, let me know down in the comments. It is on my list of things to review, but if you'd see that sooner rather than later, then just let me know down below and I can get that going. I wanted my lettering to match the aesthetic of my stickers, and I had outlined all my stickers, the roller skates and the daisies and the stars in black. So I was outlining my lettering in a black acrylograph. I'm really grateful that Archer and Olive now sell them in a pack separate, because I think I used all of my black acrylographs. So it's great to just kind of remember that I had a pack of fresh ones that I could use. And this is me playing with fire. So normally when I do my journaling or my setups, and especially when I'm using acrylographs, I tend to get paint all over my sleeves. Now, the sweater I'm wearing is the Tortured Poets Department sweater, but from Taylor Swift. And it wasn't cheap, and I love it. The sleeves length is so fantastic. I'm a tall person, and I have long arms, and the sleeves are super long, which is so fantastic. But like I said, this is me playing with fire, stamping and painting with these sleeves on. Like, I still can't believe I did this. No sweater sleeves were harmed in the making of this video, at least not the sweater. But yeah, I need to get my act together and not do stuff like this. So for my monthly overview, I isolate important dates for the month. So we have Father's Day coming up. It's my mother-in-law's birthday. We have the kids' swimming's coming to an end. So stuff like that. So just mark down the important dates for the month. Then I have my art licensing goals. So this is kind of where I keep track of what I need to do to reach my art licensing goals for the month. And yes, I don't, this is one of the sections I'm not using how I would like to. So that's something I need to get my act together. But I keep putting art licensing in there because it is something that needs to stay on my radar. I then have a section for the goals I want to focus on for the next month. So right now, I think my goals are too broad. They're too big. And so I need to look at them as a whole, break them down into mini goals, and then break them down into even smaller steps. I do have setting up my content journal, and I'll link that for you, and you can check that out. But yes, that is something I was already doing, but I think I just need to break it down even more. And then I have a little to-do section to just capture big to-dos that I need to do for the month. So cleaning my fridge. I have half cleaned it, but I need to finish cleaning it. And then on the right-hand side of the page is space that I have left to work on my little word, which is an Ali Edwards program where you pick your word of the year, and then every month there's activities to get to know your word and kind of have it become a part of your everyday life. I have not been good about doing that. I said in my last video that was my goal for June. What was last month? May? And then May kind of got away with me. I got super busy with work, and yeah, I don't know what happened to May. I have no idea what happened to May, but here we are in June. So now I'm setting up my weekly setup. Again, this is a setup I've been doing, I think, since January, and I really do love it. On the left-hand side of the page, I have my dashboard to capture my to-dos for the day and appointments. Well, not to-dos for the day, but my appointments and events for the day. So meetings, when the kids have sports, if my husband has a function that I need to be aware of, it all goes on the left-hand side of the page. On the right-hand side, I have my little habit tracker, and then I have a to-do list. Now, the left-hand side of the to-do list are my personal to-dos, and the right-hand side are my work to-dos. The to-do list kind of grew very organically, which was kind of nice to just have it work out that way. I just wanted a giant to-do list to capture everything. But then I didn't want my work to-dos to get mixed up with my personal to-dos, and that's how it kind of got separated. I rarely ever do my personal to-dos overrun the column that I have for them. So if I need the space for my work to-dos, I just move it over. We do use a different software to keep track of our to-do list. So this is just to have it in front of me so that I don't forget. That is something I have come to realize about myself in the last couple of months. If it's not right in front of me, it doesn't exist. And so I've had to be very strategic in where I put certain things. So I would like my space not to be cluttered, which, newsflash, it's extremely cluttered and gross. I'm looking at it right now, and it needs to be dealt with. But then I also don't want everything cluttered, but I also need to know what I have. And so it's a constant battle in my head, and it's part of the reason why my office space looks like a mess, because I'm trying to figure out what's going to work for me. So that's, again, one of my goals, one of my personal home life goals is to have a home that's tidy and organized and neat. And I'm slowly getting there. The kitchen, the living room, my husband's office, I spend time organizing his. And so we're getting there. My bedroom, or the bedroom, and my office space are going to be the two biggest nightmares to figure out, but I'm digressing again. Those are just things that are on my mind. I always stamp my calendar in. Now, this calendar stamp is available in my shop. I only have a few more left. I like them because I don't have to measure out writing in the calendar. I found that to be very tedious. And so I dipped my toe into stamp manufacturing. And one of the first stamps I wanted to manufacture was this calendar date stamp. So it's worked out for me super well. I've had it for 3 years now. And no regrets for me personally, but I do have a couple more sets. I'm just terrible at marketing myself. And so, yeah, that's the biggest reason why I still have them is I'm not so good on the selling myself front. But if you're interested, they are there. In the little blank spaces you see, like just to the right of the calendar and to the right of the habit tracker, I like to use that space to add in stickers and tie it in with the overall theme. You saw me use a white paint pen to make some mistakes. I did the dots with the Tombow marker and I ended up smudging all of it and got really mad at myself for smudging it. And thankfully with my hand, not my sweater. And so I went in with the white paint pen to fix it up. The stamp, the eye, for example, I ended up getting little bits of ink smudges, and I decided to go back and fix that up as well. I'm a very bad perfectionist, and I thought I had done well with hiding or suppressing my perfectionism. But I've recently found out that I'm not. And so, yeah, I don't want to say it's gut-wrenching, but it's just my perfectionism is manifesting in a different way now. So I'm trying to, fight little battles. For example, normally if stamp ink gets everywhere, I don't worry too much. If I end up smudging something, I can fix it quickly. But I don't know. It's definitely something that I need to work on and focus on. I don't think my new role at work is going to help that perfectionist tendency. So we'll see. That's a conversation for another day. Maybe in an art journal chat, let you know what I'm thinking. And I'm actually going to revert back to rough art journaling versus the more tidy art journaling you've seen on my channel. And by that I mean, if you go further back to older videos, I have more organic style art journaling when things don't necessarily end well, versus the more aesthetic art journaling where I made very careful decisions and choices. Listen, I'm not a huge planner when it comes to my art. I just want to sit down and make stuff. And so for the most part, when I sit down and make that art, it's just in that moment. It's not pre-planned. So, but now I kind of want to show the dirty side of that more, not the not the spicy dirty, but the learningness or the not perfect way, the not perfect layout or the perfect complementary art pieces. So anyways, my final page is my overview page. And on this overview page, I'm including my biggest accomplishment for the month, a space to write down my other wins, how I feel about the month overall, how I'm celebrating my wins. That's another thing I need to work on, is how I want to celebrate my successes. And then my focus for the next month. Now, on the right-hand side of the page, which is blank right now, that is kind of space I wanted to leave open for memory keeping. I've been doing that since January, and I have been doing 0 memory keeping. So that's another space where the intention is there, and I'm going to keep it there because it's really something that I want to incorporate more of. I do keep that space as blank as possible to allow as much creativity as I would like or need in that moment where I'm sitting down and getting ready to memory keep. So that's my June setup. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was very rambly and very goal-oriented for a monthly setup. That's a bit weird, but that's what I have on my mind right now is the next one, which is a new bullet journal setup. Let me know what your theme for June is. Let me know if you're running late on your June theme too. And if you would like to use these stickers, just head on over down below. Thank you so much for your time today, and I'll see you in the next video.